All right, my first year metal detecting's in the books. So let's check out and see the kinds of things I found right now.
That is amazing. All right, we're on our way. Nice. Sweet.
This, my friends, one reality. So before I pull all these out here, I just want to show you how I was displaying them. But these are all my silver coins for the year. And then here's my extra, like my overflow nickels and Indians from the catalogs. And then here's all my big pennies and half cents. And down there's a 2-cent piece. Let's start off with my clad coins that I've been collecting kind of in these Whitman catalog books. I did put buffaloes and Indians in here. So even though I did pretty good, I think, as far as how many clad coins I dug, almost filling a couple of these, maybe I'll finish them off next year. My favorite one of the lot is this 1874 Indian. It's got some good detail on it. Probably could stand to be cleaned better, but she's in the catalog. My lowest mintage coin out of this group. I did, however, find this 1909 VDB. I did find some 1909 non-VDBs, but they're in specific site. Here's all the tags this year. Got all the rose tags right here. This little guy's a bird band. Kind of the dog tags in the center. This dog license, this is the oldest one from 1923. That's kind of neat. Down here, trapper's tags, a couple cow tags, some different miscellaneous ones in there. Some notable ones that I really enjoy. This baggage tag from the Delaware and Hudson Railway. Not sure what the manufacturer on this one is, but this is part of an old carriage tag, and definitely my favorite of the group is this carved lead heart that I found on a kind of colonial site behind my parents' house. We'll do our toy cars real quick. These things I have on the wall, but a bunch of different neat old toy cars. I love finding toy cars. Definitely makes it fun to find some old Lesnies and Matchboxes, or the same thing. Hot Wheels. Looking forward to next year, finding some more of these old toy cars. Here's kind of my tokens and foreign coins. Got a couple transit tokens. Got this old Chinese cash coin, New Hampshire transit token. Old presidential Cracker Jack toy. A couple religious ones. $20 foreign coin. This is my favorite by far, this Union Pacific Lucky Piece from the 1934 World's Fair in Chicago, I believe. Woohoo! Also, just to show you real quick, here's all the Wheaties I got for the year. All the different Wheaties. Probably about $4 worth. I didn't count. Here's the utensils. Lots of lead pewter kind of spoon balls and spoon handles. This is probably my favorite little one. This is off a Revolutionary War area near Schoharie. But lots of different utensils we found this year. I had 2 really good coin spills this year. This was the first one. It's a 2-cent piece and 3 Indians. I got that up north. And this one blew my mind. This is 5 large cents and a half dime, which I kind of nicked. But you can see these 2 coins were stuck together, so they're very well preserved. But 1847 is the half dime, the newest year. I think 1874, something like that, is the newest year on these ones. I don't remember. You'd have to watch the video. But these were awesome to find, these 2 coin spills. Here's some more miscellaneous stuff. Got a couple lock plates, a couple pocket knives, big kind of like Bowie knife. These are all suspension pieces up here. Parasol tip, probably a flagpole tip right there. Wizard toy made out of lead. This one's really neat. This lead toy right here, very old. A saddle strap guide, reins guide, ox knob, old bridle rosette. I found a ton of these things, but I gave a lot of this stuff to the town. And let's see what's up next. Okay, here's my coppers for the year, except for the 5 that are up in that spill container. So if you include the 5 and get rid of this 2-cent piece out of the equation, that's 22 different coppers. These 2 came out of the button mill. Those are Connecticut coppers. These are also Connecticut coppers right here, but not from that location. This one came out of the button mill. That's a KG3, as well as this 1807 half cent drape bust. Don't know what this chunky copper is. You can kind of start to see something on the back. Like it might have been a Britannia on there. I can't tell though. It's very rough. I've even tumbled it. It doesn't help. Got a bunch of drape busts. I think 5 in total. A classic head. A bunch of matrons. So did pretty good on the coppers this year. 22. Not bad for a first year, right? Watches for the year. We got a good assortment of different wrist watches and some pocket watches. I found many more pocket watches than just these, but I donated a lot of them to the property owners in the town because they are such a neat item. This one's definitely my favorite, though, so I held on to this. Kind of a weird, small face to it. Kind of a neat piece. Big old escapement gear. Very crisp one. This is kind of neat as well. This back of this old pocket watch right here has a nice scene on it. But that's the watches. So here's my 68 silver coins for the year, except for the half dime, which I'm leaving in that display case with that large cent spill. We got 3 Barber halves. We got 4 SLQs. A Walker, a bunch of Washington quarters, a bunch of Rosies, an absolute ton of Mercs, another whole lot of Barber dimes, some 35% silver nickels, and then some notables, of course. This was like my first real right here, my first 1 real, 1782, Carlos the Third, 1 real. This here, it's absolutely white, but this is actually a silver half real. You'll have to take my word for it. You'll see it in an upcoming video. And this little guy right here, 1852, silver 3-cent piece, a trime. So we got both 3-cent pieces this first year. Absolutely couldn't believe how good I was this year on the silver. Loved it. Wasn't what I was looking for, but it just kept popping up. Here's my miscellaneous silver and gold for the year. A lot of weird random pieces. This is actually, I think, some kind of bezel off a Black Star and Frost piece of something. That's wicked high-end. The stuff they make is very high-end. Very cool old buckle of some kind. And all this stuff is marked sterling, or I've tested it. This another kind of, I think, hat pin. Got some cool old sterling rings. This one's pretty old. That is marked just sterling on it. This little guy right here, same kind of thing, marked sterling. Got a Irish harp on there. Pandora ring, another big chunker. This 10-karat gold with 20 diamonds in it. Tested the diamonds, they are real. So that was cool to find. Old amulet. Here's all the buckles. Some of these with these raised posts are pretty old. This old modern batwing is pretty old. This one's definitely my favorite. I'm not sure what this is. Maybe it's a little like watch buckle, something like that, but very cool. Kind of looks like Victorian era piece to me. But yeah, there's all the buckles. A couple other quick buckles I want to talk about. Here's this really neat sash buckle. Still a lot of gold gilting left on that. And this is this New York militia belt plate. All crumpled up, but gosh, I was stoked to find this thing. Found it in a field. You just never know. Here's all my buttons for the year. A lot of flat buttons. Did get a couple cool tombacks like this one. Kind of glued that one back together because it was broken. Little glass button right there. Civilian 2-piece. Some big dandies. This little guy's a broken up open works button. More modern, along with a more modern great seal button there. These kind of neato story buttons. They were actually a cut steel button. So these round sockets all the way around them would have had cut steel balls in there, like you can kind of see on this one still. Faceted steel. Here's all the keys I got for the year. A couple nice big chunks of skeleton key. This one's still super strange. I'm like 90% sure it's a skeleton key, but it could be something else. It's just a weird object. Anchor, not sure what that's off of. This part of a pin is part of the Sons of the Civil War veterans. Couple thimbles, bunch of musket balls, some lead bale seals. Let's go over my favorite buttons for the year. Definite keepers. This kind of golden era button from the 1830s. Here's an 1820s Navy button. Same thing right here. You can kind of see it. It's a 1820s-ish artillery corps button. Kind of a livery button with a dog on it. Found this one kind of on the top of a mountain, so that was really hard to get, but a neat old design. colonial kind of two-piece. Beautiful sunburst pattern on this one. Solid one-piece button. A tomback with a center post on it. New York Excelsior cuff button. And a Federal Staff Officer's button. Rounding out my favorite buttons. Here's my junker jewelry for the year. Got 12 various rings that all broke my heart. This is one of my most favorite pieces here. This is some kind of hat pin, I think. It's got a neat design. Not real sure on that one. Another one that's pretty cool. This looks like it was in a fire. It's all blued. There's some kind of stone in the middle there, though. Cut glass, maybe. This cleaned up super nice. Look at that. I think the patent date on the back says 1911. So, real old piece of Boy Scout history right there. This one hurt. This is an old coin purse with no coins. But lots of various clad jewelry here. So, kind of exciting to find it, just to have it in the old junk box. This shelf of stuff right here is all from the Timeson trolley stop. So kind of some neat finds there, some highlights. One would be this watch fob with 2 horses on it. Another would be this piece right here. This is a 10-carat graduation pin from Schenectady Business School. Marked 10K on the bottom. But there's some other cool, neat pieces in here. Old Union pin from GE. All sorts of good stuff. I did a couple seated hunts this year, both put on by Gino DiCarlo of Empire State Metal Detector Association. And this is how I did. I saved all these separate. They didn't count towards my silver totals. But I got a bunch of Mercs, a couple 3-cent nickels, 2 skinny, 2 fatty Indians, a couple Barber dimes, a Cat Bust dime, seated half, Flying Eagle, Buffalo, a couple 2-cent pieces, Exposition, $50, large cent, and probably a Mexican dollar there. Un peso, 1961. So if you're interested in those ESMDA club hunts, you got to do them. Or the seated hunts, they're pretty good. Some other random bits and bobs. Here's my Constoga bells. Here's my broken Croto bell for the year. 2 bicycle bells. This one, don't know, maybe that's off a telephone. It's very small. This seems like a front desk bell to me, where you'd pop it like a dinger. Old lighter. Missing cap gun, broken up. This one's got some weight to it. This one I thought was a real gun, especially considering if I look in on it here. It says 22 cal. So this is actually a CO2 pistol. There'd be a CO2 cartridge that would go right in here. But gosh, when I found this thing on the ground, just the weight of this thing, this is hefty. So I was thinking there for a minute it might be real, but she's not. Here's my underwater finds. And let's take a look at my favorite ones of this. My favorite underwater finds, I mean, this inlaid piece of wood, that's pretty neat. Diamond's Eye cufflink. This, and I've seen this in videos before, this Indian that is gold toned from being in the mud. Also, my most unlikely find this year, I couldn't believe I got this, was this 3-cent nickel, 1869. Couldn't believe I actually found that. First year of metal detecting. That's the hardest one I think I'll ever need to find outside of a gold coin. Army Air Corps badge. A signet brass ring with an R on it. Little 925 silver with an onyx. And then this bracelet down at the bottom here, this bracelet where every link has like a different engraving for somebody in the family, I bet. So let's talk about these real quick. These are finds from Larry Cisna's campout hunt that I went to last March. But this is kind of the miscellaneous finds. These are some broken eagle cuff buttons, probably flat button. This is maybe 1600s, that buckle. Eagle, standard coat button right there. I think that's a Kepi buckle, some kind of melted 3-ringer. This right here, this is the nose cone off some artillery piece I got down there. Not sure which one it is. I'm not really good at identifying that. But these 5 items, right? We got a scabbard tip, a Williams cleaner, and then 3 dropped 3-ringers. And the Williams is also dropped. Now these came out of a hole of what I'm about to show you. This is a probably cavalry bugle. It's not getting restored, so I don't have it right now, but can't wait to get it back. Definitely my best find of the year. Hands down. Well, I hope you enjoyed seeing the kinds of things I found this year in that first year detecting. And if you did enjoy, be sure to like, comment, or subscribe, because I come out with new material every Monday. And this year for 2020, we're going to be hitting a lot more of forest parks, some colonial sites, a lot of field hunting, much more underwater hunting, I hope. And I hope to take you guys along the way. So, hope to see you there. Have a great day.